Hey friends, this is Grace and welcome to video number 4 of our all girl series. And this time around, I am going to use the shapes of circles. Now, circles for me is a very basic shape. You can use it for female or for girl type layouts as well as boys. And so I'm going to use that here. And basically, I'm also featuring the going back to the papers that I have been using for most of the layouts in this series, which is the Summer Fun from Echo Park. And although it is a summer themed page kit or collection, I really love the colors of it because it has a lot of different hues or tints of pink, but at the same time it has the reds and the kind of the light blues, colors that for me denotes a girl themed project or page. And I'm starting off with the kind of light blue, not light blue, but it's a blue. It's a certain shade of blue cardstock, and that's what I'm going for. But again, I don't want the blue, just that blue solid on the background. I feel like it's a little bit boring, but that's just me in my eyes. And so I'm going to add a 1/4 inch strip of pattern paper. I usually use diagonal here just so that there's different colors featured on that small piece or thin strip of paper, and I am going to add that as my border around the page. I have 3 photos here. They're all 3x4s, 2 that are horizontal and 1 that's vertical, and I'm going to put them more so on the left side. I also have my journaling pre-printed, and then I decided to do some in my initial plan, I was going to do wonky circles, like layers of circles, but wonky sets. So what I did was I cut out my circles first using mostly scraps of that paper because, why not? I have the scraps. And so I was kind of playing around and seeing if I can do like layering them over each other. But I quickly found that the patterns were just, I don't know, they were just too conflicting for me. Like I couldn't even put like the stripe over the colored or the heavily designed paper just because I felt like it was just not, it didn't go well for me in my mind. And also maybe it's because of the shapes that I created, the different sizes of circles. But anyways, I ended up just adhering single, like I didn't layer them, and I am just adhering them to the right side. And I actually turned out good. Like I liked how the final page looked like. I like the different designs and the different colors of it. If I were to do this again, I'd probably do the same thing, but maybe I will do the circles maybe in more, I don't know, more different sizes. I don't know. I don't know how I could improve on this, but I do know that I could. I could definitely improve from this particular layout just because there's always room for improvement. And as I'm seeing it right now, all the circles it just feels like bubbles to me at the very end. But I still wanted to use up because I've already spent that time doing the circles, so might as well use it, right? And then another thing that I did off cam is I matted the photos with some pink cardstock. Now that pink cardstock is actually left over from video number 1. I don't know if you've been able to catch the video number 1, but I did an 8.5 by 11 page. And because I was using a 12x12 paper as the background, I had to trim that down. I had some leftovers and use that for this particular layout instead. Now, you're probably wondering, what are those photos? So my daughter during 8th grade, they had, oh no, maybe this was 7th grade because this is 2019. So 7th grade, in their history class, they were talking about different civilizations, and they were supposed to create something that would define or part of that civilization, and they were to kind of show it off in some kind of like gallery type of event at school. So my daughter decided to create aqueducts, the Roman aqueducts, and she used some clay for it. This was a labor of love for her because it took her a whole weekend and a bunch of clay to create this one piece. I think her biggest challenge was because, as you can see, the bottom is slightly angled, and then she had topped it with all of these other parts of that piece, and so it's just parts of it. The challenge was that the arches on the bottom didn't quite hold up with the weight of whatever's on top, but thankfully she managed to make that. And the good thing about clay is that if it doesn't work out, you can always, make some more, and then once you're done, you just let it sit out there and dry. So that's what she did. She spent a whole weekend doing this, and so she's not quite like when she sees these pictures, like she's not quite proud of her aqueduct. But I do want to commemorate this event, because when my oldest did this, he did samurai sword. Like, he actually used some foil and wrap like a cardboard to make it look like samurai swords. And then I helped him put together his presentation, with the board and all of that stuff. So that's what we did for him. And I kind of wanted to make sure that she has hers as well. And I'm hoping, that's the hope, that, when it's come time for my third kid, that I will have the energy and the brain power to do it as well when it's his time. I'm pulling out the Technique Tuesday stamp set again, the one that I used for layout number 3, and just pulled 4 different kinds of stamps. And I had some leftover journaling blocks. If you caught my digging through my stash series, video number 10 for May, I had used journaling blocks for that, and I had some left over on my table, and I thought I would use some of the white lined papers for stamping my sentiment. Now, I had also initially wanted to use some larger flowers for this layout, because remember, I had that pattern paper with some beautiful flowers that were just screaming fuzzy cut me. And so I did, and I had wanted to use that, but the problem was that those scattering of circles there were just too much of them. And if I were to add these flowers, I would either cause introducing more design on the page, or just covering up those circles that I had adhered already. So I just decided to skip the flowers. I don't know. Let me know in the description box below. Should have I added the flowers, or is keeping this page kind of more circle focused the way to go? Now I'm spelling out my title, and I am doing 2 different kinds of letter stickers here. Aqueduct for using some mini market stickers to spell the aqueduct, and then Roman will be spelled with these piggy tails letter stickers here. Now, initially I'd wanted to use all purple colored stickers, because I thought, that would make it look better and it's cohesive. But then I didn't have any more A's that are purple, and the V's, which I normally turn over for my A's, I didn't have any purples for that as well. So I'm just going with a pink, and I did move that one circle there just because I felt like the pattern is conflicting against the letters, and so I just decided to move that. And then I put a dot to create the center line for the A. And then I remembered pulling out a few more little bits and pieces that I thought would be good. But before I do that, I remembered that I had my stamped strips of phrases. And so I decided to trim that off and then put them in different places of my layout, so that will be done. And then I could decorate and finish off the layout with a few other stickers and whatnot. So I'm just trimming off the stamped word there, today's highlight. And then I'm also going, now for the rest of the word stamped words, I am actually going to put that over the photo just because I thought that that would be a good place for it, and it also kind of adds a caption for that particular photo. So that's what I'm going to do here. Now, if I were to redo this again, I would probably use a different font, maybe like a pink font, to bring out some of that pink from the paper instead of the black. Now, black, I don't have anything against black, but I think in this particular instance, it looked a little too boring for me. But again, I had stamped it already and I just wanted to move forward so that I can create the next layout for this particular series. So you can see there's a space on the bottom and I felt like that needed something. And I found this sticker from the Happy Days sticker sheet. I think that's My Mind's Eye. And it says nice job. And I thought that would coordinate with the story that I have here. And what else? Oh, and you see that circle with kind of the wood grain next to the aqueduct sticker. That felt a little plain for me, and so I'm going to add a flower there. And I still was able to add flowers here. It's just not the cut out flowers that I had wanted to initially put, or that I had initially wanted to put here. And then what else am I going to add here? I think I'm going to add some enamel dots and call it a day. Oh yeah, the @ sign, just because it was round and it could fit on top of some of these circles here. And I'm just going to do that. And then again, I'm going to add some enamel dots and call it good. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, please consider giving it a thumbs up and subscribing. And make sure you hit that bell button so that YouTube will notify you for when I post my next video. Until then, I'll catch you guys another day. Bye.